radiation from cell phones could cause cancer.
Turns out participants in the study who used a cell phone for 10 years or more had doubled the rate of brain glioma, a type of tumor.
We've all wondered if our cell phones are passing radiation through our bodies, and tonight the doctors we talked to confirm there's enough evidence.
What microwave radiation does, in the most simplistic term, very similar to what happens to your food. When you put your food in a microwave oven, it's essentially cooking the brain.
Look at what they found. The image on the left shows what happened when the cell phone was turned on. The most active areas are in red. Notice the upper right part of the brain. That's the area closest to the antenna. Compare that with this image on the right of the same subject when they had their cell phones turned off.
A committee composed of scientists from 14 different countries working for the World Health Organization concluded that exposure to cell phone radiation is a possible carcinogen because what the cell phones do is emit a radio frequency magnetic field which interacts with your own biological signaling system to cause this increase. And this expert World Health Scientific Committee found that there was a 40% increased risk of cancer.
And here's something else that might surprise you. The cell manufacturers themselves actually advise against putting the cell phone right next to your head or really anywhere in your body.
The city of San Francisco pushed for radiation warning labels on cell phones. The head of a prominent cancer research institute sent a memo to all employees urging them to limit cell phone use because of possible risk of cancer. And the European Environmental Agency has pushed for more studies, saying cell phones could be as big a public health risk as smoking, asbestos, and leaded gasoline.
It's interesting because you look at all the studies out there, and most people will say, look, I mean, they're fine. A lot of scientists will say that. But, you know, I've read all these studies. There's 16 really good studies out there, a few since 2000. Most of them, if you really dissect it down, they really only follow the patients along for just a few years. And, you know, people use their cell phones for years and years, and kids start using them. They're going to use them their whole lifetime. Also, some of the studies say regular cell phone use is using it one time a week for 6 months. I mean, who uses a cell phone that little nowadays? So my point is this, that, you know, if you read the studies alone, they'll say they're safe. But if you start to say, well, look, wait a second, how about if it's 10 years? How about it's 20, 30, 40 years?
We don't know yet.
We don't know. And if you use your phone all the time, like you know, people in the news business, they have a cell phone to the ear all the time. Is that really safe?
Living in this modern world of ours, we can't help but constantly be surrounded by these high-tech gadgets and electronics because they make our lives convenient. However, without our knowledge, it also comes with the hazard of being exposed to electronic pollution, also known as e-smog. E-smog is the radiation emitted from our gadgets that affect our biofield. Exposure to these pollutants have damaging health effects. But thanks to the Quantum Shield, I'm protected. It really works.